My name's Jared from Retro Gaming Pandemic. Welcome back to my crazy collection. I went through this really crazy phase recently where I wanted to collect cassette tapes, specifically old 90s hip hop cassette tapes. And when I found out, these things are really hard to find and actually pretty expensive, but I am pretty pumped just kind of what I've collected so far. One of my favorites and one of my favorite albums is Redman, There Is a Dark Side. Really great rapper from the Jersey area, Wu-Tang Clan affiliate. But what's really cool about this tape too is that it's red, and you don't really see many like cassette tapes in that color too. This was a gift from my brother, Eric, who you've seen the other half of Retro Gaming Pandemic. He picked this up in Connecticut at a place called Retro Games Plus, and it's the Michael Jordan Airtime VHS promotional poster. So there's VHS everywhere in this whole entire place. So I'm not gonna just talk about every single VHS, but here are some really cool VHS tapes, and I'm just kind of already seeing one that caught my eye. This is kind of a more obscure one that you don't see. It's the live action TMNT We Wish You a Turtle Christmas. They filmed this in the 90s. It was a live performance during Christmas time. They're like singing Christmas songs, and this is just kind of my like bar area that has now just been covered with collectibles and things. One of the big highlights for me though is this, I've been collecting cardboard displays. You know, I have a Michael Jordan one. I just recently got this one for my collection. It's a Freddy Krueger Nightmare on Elm Street Dream Child 5. And I believe this is from 1989, so it's my birth year, but a really cool piece to add to the collection. RetroWolf was pretty jealous of this find. I found this at a thrift store, but check this out. This is an 80s Super Mario Bros. Electronic pinball game. The box is completely mint, guys. It had everything in it. It's never been used. Look how tall this guy is. This is a life-size Shaquille O'Neal cardboard stand. Like I said, I've been collecting displays recently. This was found at a flea market and actually was still completely sealed and everything. I got it for $10. And then this is cool. This is the first issue of the Nintendo Comic Systems. Valiant Comics did a collab with Nintendo, so this was the first issue. It's got Super Mario Bros. 3, Zelda, etc. More cardboard displays. You've been to my game collection area, apartment, whatever, a few times now, a couple times, but I've added more displays to the collection, which has been my focus. So this is a 90s Bart Simpson No Way Man cardboard display. Picked this up at one of our toy conventions here in Columbus, Ohio. I love the Simpsons, guys. I really do. What I really love up here is some of the more rare Nickelodeon VHS tapes. There's an Are You Afraid of the Dark tape, and then The Adventures of Pete and Pete. I love Adventures of Pete and Pete, one of the greatest kids 90s sitcoms ever. Matt, have you ever heard of Adventures of Pete and Pete or seen it?
Never heard of it in my life.
Oh man, that theme song with the band Polaris. This is like my music wall collection thing. So I'm a vinyl record collector as well. Man, I have so many good records. I'm just gonna pull something out. What do we got here? Oh, and I pull out one of the most expensive albums I own. How coincidental. This is an original pressing of the Beatles' White Album. It has all the original posters in it too, in really good condition. This is an amazing, amazing record. I love the Beatles. Expensive VHS tapes. I have to at least open up this is kind of the grail area of tapes. I have about 1,300 VHS tapes in my collection. I gotta pull out, this is the one I always like to show off. This is probably one of my most prized VHS tapes. It's Frankenhooker. It's actually got the talking box, and if you put a battery in it, you can press start, and she'll actually say "want a date," which is like her famous like catchphrase from the movie. So this is one of the coolest kind of Mario oddities in the collection. It's an old 80s sleeping bag, and it's just got Mario all big in the graphic, and it's got Bowser and Princess Peach and Toad and the whole squad. So, and then also to complement it, I got this old 80s Mario beach towel, and he's got a surfboard. I've never seen that before. Really cool. The highlight of this corner is truly the greatest Simpsons game ever made. This is the Simpsons arcade game beat 'em up. This is the arcade 1-up that also has Simpsons bowling as well. Bought this for myself probably a couple years ago, got a new job, and it was kind of like a gift to celebrate. So I love this thing. I just turn it on and play it when I'm just kind of bored and wanting to beat up Mr. Burns. This is kind of my little section of like Mario oddities. As you can see here, I have a CIB Mario paint, which I got from RetroWolf actually. What? And look, it's so clean. It has the Electronic Boutique sticker on it, and it had all the manuals. Super pumped on that pickup. Highlight of this section though, really, is the original theatrical poster for the Super Mario Brothers movie. Not one of my favorite movies, but it's such a classic, and the branding of the 90s and everything makes it awesome. Check this out. So this was something that was probably displayed. You would go into like a department store, like a JCPenney's or Macy's or something, and you could, buy this. But look at this. So it actually came with the original receipt. So actually I can probably tell you, but it was dated August 11th, 1990. Oh, at Target. It came from a Target. That's pretty cool. It came with the receipt. We got to highlight at least consoles because, this is technically a game tour, even though there's way more than games. But PS5, got my modded GameCube, my Pikachu, N64, VCR, Pokemon Nintendo Switch. So more cardboard displays. This is the Homer Simpson one that I purchased from Matt Furman. I'm pretty sure I lowballed him on it. And got a really good deal. Oh, hey, Matt. Lowball Jared. So I got a really good deal on this. He really hooked me up. So this is this area of just more toys, collectibles, some CIB games. This is where I edit. So all the videos you see of Retro Gaming Pandemic, Pixel Game Squad, this is where the magic happens on this Lenovo gaming laptop. Look how cool this Simpsons thing is. Original 90s Bart Simpson skateboard. Official Bart Simpson vehicle of destruction. Cool, like 80s arcade marquees. I had a friend that had a bunch of these, and he actually gave me a really good deal on a lot buy. So I have about 20 of them just kind of scattered around everywhere. Oh man, this is such a classic movie during Halloween time. Do you guys remember Ernest? Scared Stupid? Video game room tours on the RetroWolf channel, but one thing that I'm gonna kind of focus on that's gonna stand apart is my crazy vintage clothes collection. We're talking about shirts from the 90s, like this Donkey Kong Country 2 shirt. We're talking about crazy 1993 Super Mario Bros. All over print shirts. This shirt's super rare. You're never going to see this shirt ever. The story behind this is that Nintendo partnered with a UK department store in England called St. Michael, and they did a run of these Super Mario shirts just for that department store. That department store eventually went out of business in the early 2000s. So to have this from 1991, I know I said 93, but it was actually 91, is pretty sick. This is definitely one of my grails. Literally, all of these are vintage shirts from the 90s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s. All vintage shirts. All vintage shirts. What? Average price is probably $80 to $150 a shirt. How many shirts you think are on here? So hundreds, like literally. So, but this is cool. This was a thrift store find. This one is 1993. It's the Itchy and Scratchy Show all over print. It's officially licensed Simpsons shirt. I've never seen this shirt in my entire life, so when I found it at a thrift store, I literally was shaking. Like, this was one of my best pickups. And
found it at a thrift store?
A thrift store.
That's gotta be a price.
Yeah, so this is a classic too. You have the Super Nintendo Donkey Kong Country all over print shirt. So when I started collecting vintage shirts and specifically video game shirts, this is the one I wanted. I had my eye on this one right off the bat. I wanted to kind of start out with a banger. I've, seen this one around, so had to grab this one.
I hope you're enjoying today's video. I want to take a quick moment to tell you about a new channel sponsor and an app that I am truly passionate about and want to help grow, and that is Goodiez. Goodiez is a brand new buying and selling video game marketplace, and for today I'm going to focus on how easy it is to list a game for sale on the app. Once you open the app, you want to click on List, click List for Sale, type in the name of the game that you are selling, click the correct console and game you're trying to sell, select the condition of the game. In this case, this copy I'm selling is in very good condition. Enter the price you want to sell the game at. Then you can either select Take a Picture to use the built-in camera or select Gallery to select pictures you've taken ahead of time. Once you've added the pictures, put anything else you want to put in the title and the description. Once you've filled in the title and the description, enter the length, width, height, and weight of the package. And finally, click Review Listing. Decide whether or not you want to sign up for their verification service for an additional fee, which will protect you as a seller. After you've confirmed your address, simply review the listing. It will show you what your fees will be and what your estimated payout will be, and click Place Ask. There it is, the game I just listed for sale. It is that easy to list a game for sale on Goodiez. Huge shout out to Goodiez for sponsoring the channel, and I cannot wait to help them grow this amazing app.
Yeah, so believe it or not, you haven't even gone into my game room yet. So welcome to my game room. This is the epicenter of nostalgia and just happiness for me. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. We have 5 TVs. We got multiple consoles from Genesis, PS3, Xbox, PS2, 64, Super Nintendo, NES. Everything's loaded up. We got VCRs. So this is just some of my kind of toys that I collect. But what I really love is this is Simpsons movie Blockbuster display. When the movie came out, they had this whole kind of setup for the DVDs that you could rent. My buddy Brad, 8-Bit Boba Fett, actually gifted me this when we visited him in Detroit. One of the highlights on this shelf is really these Mario quiz cards that I just think are really cool.
Is it complete?
It's complete. Contra Hard Corps. This is such an awesome game. It was a Genesis exclusive. One of my favorites out of the franchise.
Probably one of the hardest.
Hardest too, very difficult. I'm pretty bad at video games, to be honest, so I don't get too far in this game. But still, it's great though. So I got the hang tab. This is CIB. I want to show some ROM hacks, some unlicensed games. So this is made by a guy named Toysaurus from Cleveland. His name's Eric, and he does these custom games. And what's really cool is this is the Itchy and Scratchy game. This game was only ported for Super Nintendo. They had a Genesis one, but they never actually released it. So he went ahead and made it as a ROM hack. But look how cool this cartridge is. It's got like blood and stuff in it for Itchy and Scratchy.
Nice.
And really, really sweet. I always kind of want to showcase some of his work because he's extremely talented. NES games here. I want to highlight how awesome this Pokemon Pikachu VCR is. Have you ever seen this?
Nope.
You haven't.
Nope.
You haven't. We got some Street Sharks in the back. I know they're making a comeback here, but we got Moby Lick and Jabs over here. Let's talk about this pillow. I
love this pillow.
This is an 80s pillow. It was a pillow set that some grandma made. My buddy Max found this and gifted it to me though. It's just got Mario doing all these like cool little poses. So, and he's on a train. Wrestling buddies are still cool and fun. These are some expensive pillows. This is like $1,000 worth of pillows on this couch. Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Which in the 90s is revolutionary.
Did you just feel his bicep? Bro.
Dude, I was feeling the thread count.
RetroWolf just felt up Hulk Hogan, bro.
I was.
Hey, we got more video games here. So a bunch of my Super Nintendo games, more NES.
Tons of Simpsons stuff.
Tons of Simpsons stuff. Simpsons is anything you can think of, they put Simpsons on. More of my like high-end stuff.
Tell me about that CIB Super Mario RPG. How'd you get that CIB?
So I got this CIB from my brother RetroWolf. Yep, this one's one that's not leaving the collection. What are some other? Obviously, you have like the Earthbounds, but I want to like highlight like just kind of a more obscure game that I think I guess I'm in my Genesis mood as far as showing it off, but this is just a game you don't see a lot. It's called Growl. It's also a beat 'em up, and I got this CIB. This actually game means a lot to me because I bought it at our first Siege.
Oh, nice.
So when we met, actually what's crazy is I bought this before I ever met you. So thinking of just like kind of more banger NES games, I mean, it doesn't get more Grail than this. That's Mighty Final Fight. This is my favorite NES game of all time. It's just a great beat 'em up. It's awesome. That's all I can say, and the music's so good too. Oh, so I got these watches here. These are pretty cool. So this is a Super Nintendo Game & Watch Star Fox, and it actually works, and you can play the game. It's kind of like a Tiger Electronic, but for a watch. And then this is a N64 promo shirt. It's lenticular too. This game means a lot to my brother and I. This is it's the Yeah Yeah Beavis game that John Riggs actually made, and he made a custom port for us where Eric and I are playable characters, and then he did this really cool retro gaming pandemic cover. So super grateful for him, and to be thoughtful in gifting us this. He gifted us this 2 Sieges ago. So thank you again, and this is one of the coolest things I have in my collection. Want to say thank you, and anyone that tells you collecting isn't cool is not cool. That didn't sound right. Whack.
It's too late. Devin's gonna use it.
Oh gosh.